Good morning again. I'm back. So for today, our lesson is about polynomial equations. So you have met already the different examples of polynomial function, and equation. So ngayon baka kayo nalilito. So let us clarify kailan siya magiging polynomial function, and polynomial equation. Ayan, ito yung example. Pag polynomial, ganyan lamang siya. Pag polynomial function, so kailangan siya nagsisimula sa p of x, f of x, g of x is equal to x plus 3. So, merong left side and mayroong right side. Now, pag polynomial equation, kailangan mukhang equation na siya. So, that is x plus 3 is equal to 0. So, naka-equate siya dapat sa 0. So, ngayon, ang ating focus ay ang polynomial equation. So, pag sinabing polynomial equation, it is an equation formed with variables, exponents, and coefficients together with operations and an equal sign. Diba? So, look at the example. So, meron tayong 3x squared plus 12x minus 63 equals 0. X to the fourth minus 5x squared plus 4 equals 0. X cubed minus 3x squared minus 4x plus 12 equals 0. So, tingnan nyo ang mga equations natin. Nakaayos yung mga exponents in descending powers. Tapos, yung mga last terms ay nasa constant. Ayan, para mas maliwanag, tuloy natin. So, a polynomial is in the form of p of x is equal to a sub n times x to the x sub n plus a sub n minus 1 x to the n minus 1 plus dot 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 up to a sub 1, where a is real number, a sub n is not 0, and n is a positive integer. So, para maging polynomial, the first term should have a coefficient of a real number. And it is not 0. And then n, or the exponent, should be positive. So, you will understand this better as we go along. In addition, what are the characteristics of a polynomial? So, there shall be no negative and fractional exponent. So, mortal sin pag nagkaroon ng negative and fractional exponent. No variable in the denominator. So, alam nyo naman kung saan ang location ng denominator, di ba? No variable inside a radical sign. So, kailangan hindi siya nakakulong sa loob ng radical sign. So, look at this. These are examples of polynomial equation. 3x to the fourth power plus 5x minus 3 equals 0. So, as you can see, the exponent 4 is positive. Then, 2x to the fourth plus 2x cubed minus 6x plus 12 equals 0. They are all positive. The same with this one. Now, look at this. X squared minus 1/4 equals 0. We have a fraction 1/4, but it is not an exponent. Huh? So, this is still a polynomial equation. Now, we have here a radical, square root of 3. So, still this is a polynomial equation because according to the characteristics, if the variable is inside the radical sign, 3 is not a variable. So, it's okay. It's still a polynomial equation. 3 is a number. And then, okay, ito, swak, mga positive sila. How about this? These are not polynomial equation. The first one has a negative exponent, 6x raised to the negative 2. The next one, because there is a variable inside the radical sign. So, ito, x is inside the radical sign. So, it is not a polynomial equation. And the third one, because the variable is in the denominator. Ito, 2 over x. X is in the denominator. So, ayan. If you encounter this type of equation, then it is not a polynomial equation. So, you cannot solve them. To continue, so I keep on telling you about the degree. The degree of the polynomial is the largest exponent on one of its variables. So, titingnan nyo, ano ba yung pinakamataas na exponent doon sa polynomial? Yan, kasi yun na magsasabi sa inyo kung ilan ang hahanapin yung uh, factors o yung roots o yung sagot. Another, the leading coefficient is the coefficient of the first term of the polynomial when written in a standard form. So, kumbaga sa pelikula, siya yung bida. Bakit? Kasi kailangan nyo rin siya para magkaroon kayo ng clue about the roots or about the answer in a polynomial equation. And then, for example, x cubed minus 7x squared plus 15x minus 9 equals 0. Kunin natin ang degree. Sabi, it is the largest exponent. So, heto siya. 3. Therefore, the degree equals 3. Next. This one, kailangan din natin ito. The leading coefficient. But it has no number. So, di ba, pag no number, understood, it is 1. And then, kailangan din natin ang constant. So, the constant is negative 9. Now, sige nga, let's explore more on the differences of this. So, syempre, kailangan para masolve natin yung polynomial equation, naka-descending order siya. Meaning to say, exponents are arranged from highest to lowest. So, degree, the highest exponent, the leading coefficient, ang coefficient ng leading term, ang constant term, the term without variable. So, tingnan natin sa number 1. Number 1 is not in descending order. Kasi if you look at the exponent, you see here, it's 3, 1, constant, 5. So, hindi siya ayos. Kaya, aayusin natin to. Ano ang dapat maging first term, maging second term, maging third term, at panghuling term. So, dapat ganito ang ayos niya. 7x to the 5th power minus 4x cubed minus 15x plus 6 equals 0. Ayan. So, sa pag-arrange be careful kasi minsan yung mga signs na mamali. Kung ano yung nasa unahan niyang sign, kanya yun. Kaya yung 4 ay negative. Ang 7, ang nasa harapan niya ay plus sign. So, that means positive ang 7. Hindi na natin siya ilalagay kasi first term naman siya. So, hindi na natin kailangan ilagay na positive ang 7. Understood na yon. So, since naka-descending order na siya, pwede na natin kunin ang degree. So, heto siya, which is 5. At ang leading coefficient niya, syempre, kukunin din natin siya sa first term. So, 7. At ang constant niya ay, eto, 6. Yan. O, next, number 2. Hindi na naman ayos. Kaya, ayusin na natin. So, ano magiging first term? So, ito. X to the 4th power minus 3x squared minus 11 equals 0. Kaya, ang degree niya ay 4. Ang leading niya ay walang number, understood na 1. At ang constant niya ay negative 11. Next, number 3. Hindi na naman ayos. So, kita nyo exponent. Tingnan nyo. 3, 6, 4, constant. So, ayusin natin. Ang dapat maging first term ay ito. So, x to the 6th power minus 6x to the 4th plus 8x cubed plus 1 equals 0. So, ang degree ay ito, 6. Ang coefficient ay ito, 1. At ang constant ay 1 pa din. Next. So, sa number 4, you have to simplify this first kasi may parenthesis. So, using the distributive property, x times 5x is 5x to the 4th power plus x times 7 is 7x. So, we have 5x to the 4th power plus 7x is equal to 0. So, ito na siya. So, pwede na natin kunin ang degree which is 4. Ang coefficient is 5. May nakikita ba yung constant? None. And one more. So, we have x minus 2 raised to the second. So, kunin muna natin yan. That will be x squared minus 4x plus 4. Multiply it by x minus 3. You will get x cubed minus 7x squared plus 16x minus 12 equals 0. So, i-check nyo na lamang sa bahay kung bakit nakuha ito kasi magtatagal pa tayo. Basta yan po ang tamang sagot. So, the degree is 3. And then, the leading coefficient, wala na naman. So, understood it's 1. And then, the constant is negative 12. Yan. So, these are needed to find the roots of polynomial equations later. Moving on. Ito yun, lagi kong sinasabi, roots. Ano nga ba yung roots? The roots of a polynomial refer to the values of a variable for which the given polynomial is equal to 0. The term solution zeros roots. So, ito. So, pare-pareho lang sila. They are synonymous because they all represent where the graph of a polynomial intersects the x-axis. The roots are found when the graph meets with the x-axis are called the real roots, meaning you can see them and deal with them as real numbers in the real world. Yan. So, itong more on graph will be encountered in the next chapter. So, ngayon, ang focus lang natin ay makuha ang mga roots o yung mga zeros or solutions ng polynomial equations. Paano? Yan. So, halimbawa, meron tayo, madali na yung aking may table tayo. So, get the degree, the roots, and the number of real roots. So, halimbawa, heto na yung polynomial equations, naka-factored form. Pag naka-factored form na siya, madali nang makuha ang roots. So, solvein muna natin. If x minus 1 equals 0, di ba sabi, equate it to 0. So, x equal to 1. So, transpose natin yung 1, yung negative 1, magiging positive 1. The other one, if x plus 2 equals 0, x is equal to negative 2. So, lalabas, ang degree natin ay 2. Kasi, di ba, dalawa yung x natin, x times x squared. Ang roots natin, dalawa rin, di ba? Ito nga, 1, tsaka negative 2. Are they real? Real ba tong 1 and negative 2? Yes, totoo naman tayong merong 1 at saka negative 2 na number. So, there are 2 number of real roots. The other one, okay, so the degree is 3 kasi there are 3x. 1, 2, 3. Paano nakuha to? So, solve natin. If 2x is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. Next, if x minus 3 equals 0, x is equal to 3. Next, if x plus 2 equals 0, x equal to negative 2. So, you just equate the 2, 0 to get the roots. So, the roots are negative 2, 0, tsaka 3. Are they real? Yes, they are real. Kaya, there are 3 real roots. Next, the number 3. X plus 2 to the 3rd power times x minus 2. So, equate to 0. If x plus 2 equals 0, x is equal to negative 2 3 times. Bakit 3 times? Kasi raised to the 3rd power. So, ibig sabihin, ang magiging sagot niya ay lalabas na tatlong negative 2. Next, Oh, mali ang lagay ko dito. Okay, typographical error. Dapat x minus 2 siya. X minus 2 equals 0, x is equal to 2. So, bakit 4 ang degree? Because the x here is raised to the third power plus 1x pa. So, 3 plus 1 is 4. Now, negative 2 multiplicity 3. So, you will use the word multiplicity if a root is more than 1. So, kapag siya ay 2 times o 3 times, ang gagamitin nyo word ay multiplicity. And then 2. And then, they are all real roots. Paano magiging not real? Example, ito. 2x squared minus x plus 1 is equal to 0. The degree is 2. Now, let's get the roots. 2x squared minus x plus 1 is equal to 0 is not factorable. You cannot get the factors of 2x squared minus x plus 1. So, kahit i-try nyo siya, wala kayong makukuhang factors nito. Kaya, the best formula is using the quadratic formula. Remember this, ito yung pinag-aralan nyo ng grade 9. So, makita niyo kapag ginamitan natin siya ng quadratic formula, you will get this kind of answer. X is equal to 1/4 plus minus square root of negative 7 over 4. And this type of number is not real. Because there is no such thing as square root of negative number. Walang square root ang negative number. Kaya ang roots niya ay ito. Ito yung roots niya. Pero, ang number of real roots niya, none. Kasi nga, these are not real. Anyway, yun ang problemahin ito. Kasi hindi naman yan ang concern natin. Pinakita ko lang sa inyo kailan nag-e-exist yung not real. Okay, moving on. So, ito na yung ating pinaka-target. To find the roots of polynomial equations. So, x minus 2 times 2x plus 3 times x plus 1 equals 0. Very easy na to. Kasi this one is in the factored form. So, pag naka-factored form na siya, we will just use the zero product property. Meaning to say, we will equate all of this to 0. Yan. If x minus 2 equals 0, if 2x plus 3 equals 0, and if x plus 1 equals 0. So, let's get the value of x from this. First, if x minus 2 equals 0, x is equal to negative 2. Next, if 2x plus 3 equals 0, 2x is equal to negative 3, x is negative 3 over 2. And the third one, if x plus 1 equals 0, x is equal to negative 1. So, the roots of the equation are 2, negative 3 over 2, and negative 1 in no particular order. So, meaning to say, kahit mauna yung negative 1 o yung negative 3 over 2, okay lang. So, basta in a particular order. So, madali lang to kasi naka-factored form. E, paano pag hindi siya naka-factored form? Like in the second example. So, how do we find the roots of 2x cubed minus x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0? Here are the steps. First, you use the rational root theorem. That means applying the P over Q. So, you will understand this later. And, second, apply the factor theorem. Third, solve the depressed equation. Kung gagamit kayo ng depressed equation, pati equation na di-depress. Kala nyo kayo lang. So moving on. So let us continue. Here in the polynomial equation, we will get the value of p from the constant 3. So this is our p. And we will get q from the leading coefficient, which is 2. So that will be our q. In short, we have p over q is equal to 3 over 2, which is equal to all the possible factors of 3 are positive, negative 1, positive, negative 3. For 2, all possible factors are positive, negative 1, positive, negative 2. And we will simplify this. Positive, negative 1 divided by positive, negative 1 is also positive, negative 1. And then positive, negative 3 divided by positive, negative 1 is positive, negative 3. And then positive, negative 3 divided by positive, negative 2 is equal to positive, negative 3 over 2. So, in short, the possible roots are positive, negative 1, positive, negative 3, positive, negative 3 over 2. A total of 6 roots. But then, as I have said a while ago, the number of roots depends upon the degree. So, in short, only 3 of these are correct. Ano-ano kaya iyon? Let's find out. So, apply natin ang syntactic division. So, let's write all the coefficients in a row. So, we have 2, negative 1, negative 4, 3. So, try natin ang 1. Yan. So, bring down 2 times 1, 2 minus 1, 1 times 1, 1 minus 4, negative 3 times 1, negative 3 plus 3, 0. Okay, tama. Basta nag-remainder siya na 0, it means to say the chosen root is correct. So, meron na tayong isa. Let's continue. O, try uli natin. O, 1 ulit. So, bring down 2 times 1, 2 plus 1, 3 times 1, 3 minus 3, 0. Okay, 0 again. So, that means to say 1 is correct. So, meron na tayong dalawang root. And ito, dito natin kukunan yung pangatlong root kasi hindi na to pwedeng i-synthetic division. So, gagawin na natin itong in the x minus c form. So, dahil siya ang nasa first term, that means to say ito ay nasa x form. Kaya we have 2x plus 3. So, equate natin. If 2x plus 3 equals 0, nababa siya. 2x equal to negative 3. X is equal to negative 3 over 2. Hay, ito na ang isang root. At ito pa ang yan. So, these are the roots of the polynomial equation. 2x cubed minus x squared minus 4x plus 3. These are 1 multiplicity 2. Kasi dalawa siya. Diba? Dalawang 1. And then, negative 3 over 2. Okay. Yan. Diba? Dali lang. Gusto nyo pa? Okay. Example 3. Choose the roots of x to the 4th minus 8x cubed plus 14x squared plus 8x minus 15 equals 0 from negative 2, 0, 1, 5, 3, negative 1. Alin kaya dito sa 6 ang tama? Dahil siya ay to the 4th power, sabihin, 4 lang ang kailangan nating roots. Dahil 4 lang, dalawa rito ay mali. Ano kaya yon? Let's see. So, unanahin natin ang pagkuha ng P over Q. So, ang P natin ay negative 15. Ang Q natin ay walang number ito, understood na H1. So, therefore, lalabas ang P over Q natin ay 15 over 1 equals 15, and the factors of 15 are positive negative 1, positive negative 3, positive negative 5. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, mali itong negative 2 tsaka 0. So, heto ang posibleng tama. 1, 5, 3, negative 1. Pero pakita pa rin natin, ano eh. Yan. So, use natin ulit synthetic division. Try natin ang 1. So, bring down 1 times 1 is 1 minus 8 is negative 7 times 1 is negative 7 plus 14 is 7 times 1 is 7 plus 8 is 15 times times 1 is 15 minus 15 equals 0. Okay, so 1 is check since the remainder is 0. Next, try natin ang 3. 3 ang gusto ko. Kahit anong unahin nyo, pwede rin. Basta in any order naman yan eh. Okay, bring down 1 times 3. 3 minus 7, negative 4 times 3, negative 12 plus 7, negative 5 times 3, negative 15 plus 15 is 0. So, tama na naman. Next, try naman natin ang 5. So, bring down 1 times 5 minus 4 is 1 times 5 minus 5, 0. Yan, di ba? 0 ulit. Basta pag nag-0 siya, tama yung roots na yan. O, isa na lang. O, sige, gamit uli akong synthetic. Pwede naman tong i-synthetic eh. So, para makuha ko ang 0, gagamitin ko yung negative 1. So, 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. So, you see, heto na po yung 4 na roots. 4 siya kasi to the 4th power siya. So, that's 1, 3, 5, negative 1. So, the roots are 1, 3, 5, negative 1. O, diba, madali lang pagkuha ng roots of polynomial equations using synthetic division. And now, for the last example, let's have problem solving. A rectangular metal box has dimensions of 3 centimeters, 5 centimeters, and 8 centimeters. The new volume is 160 centimeters larger than the old volume if the first two dimensions are increased by the same number of centimeters and the third dimension remains unchanged. What is the new dimension of the rectangular metal box that has been enlarged? Ngayon, so, analyze natin yung problem. So, bali dito, pinapakita yung changes sa volume ng rectangular metal box. Meron siyang new volume at may old volume. So, hanapin natin ang clue. Siyempre, unahin natin yung old volume. So, ang old volume, tandaan nyo, ang formula ng volume ay length times width times height. It is 3-dimensional in form. So, sabi dito, ito yung old volume. Ang dimension ng rectangular box ay 3 by 5 by 8. Yan yung old volume. So, that is 3 centimeters times 5 centimeters times 8 centimeters is equal to, pag minultiply natin, ay 120 cubic centimeters. Tapos daw, ang new volume, sabi dito sa new volume, the new volume is 160 meters, cubic centimeters siya dapat. larger than the old volume if, okay, may condition siya. Ang condition, if the first two dimensions are increased by the same number. So, hindi natin alam yung number na yon. Diba? Pag hindi natin alam, we represent it by x, the length to be added. Pero, saan lang siya dapat i-add? The first two dimensions. So, ito yung first two dimensions. Itong 3 at saka yung 5. So, i-add natin siya dito sa 3 at saka sa 5. Kasi sabi dito, the first two dimensions are increased by the same number of centimeters, but the third dimension remains unchanged. So, itong third dimension na 8, wala siyang ipa-plus. Kaya, magiging ganito siya. X plus 3 centimeters times x plus 5 centimeters times 8 centimeters. Dahil ganun, pag nag-add tayo dun sa para sa new volume, madadagdagan, o dapat ito plus, madadagdagan yung old volume ng 160 cubic centimeters. Yan. So, ngayon, paano natin to solve? Yan. So, equate natin. The new volume is equal to old volume. So, ang ating new volume ay represented this way. X plus 3 times x plus 5 times 8. Yung old volume natin, ito yung nasa problem, 3 times 5 times 8. Pero madadagdagan daw siya ng 160. Gawa dito sa idadagdag dun sa dalawang dimensions. So, equate natin siya. O yan, ganyan maging equation natin ha. So, first, multiply natin tong x plus 3 times x plus 5. So, we will get x squared plus 8x plus 15 times 8 is equal to 3 times 5 times 8, 120 plus 160. Napindot ko agad ng madali. Tapos, minultiply ko naman itong 8. So, 8 times x squared is 8x squared. 8 times 8x is 64x. 8 times 15, 120. Equals. O, diba itong 3 times 5 ay 15 times 8, 120 plus 160. Next, transpose na natin itong mga terms para magkaroon tayo ng polynomial equation. Transpose natin itong 120 tsaka itong 160 to the left side. So, magkakaroon tayo ng 8x squared plus 64x plus 120 minus 120 minus 160 equals 0. And then, simplify na natin to. Siyempre, itong 120 minus 120, 0 na siya. Ay, ito na lang ang natira. Kaya, magiging 8x squared plus 64x minus 160 equals 0. Masyadong malaki to, so hanap tayo ng common factor. Ano ang common sa 8, sa 64, tsaka 160? Siyempre ay 8. So, divide natin sa 8, we will get x squared plus 8x minus 20 equals 0. Tapos, kunin na natin yung factors na itong x squared plus 8x minus 20, which are x plus 10 times x minus 2. Yan. Kasi, diba, 10 minus 2 is 8. 10 times 2 is negative 20. So, tama. So, para makuha natin yung value ng x, equate na natin tong x plus 10 equals 0. That will be negative 10. And x minus 2 equals 0. So, x equal to positive 2. So, the length added is to 3 and 5 is 2 centimeters. Bakit 2 centimeters? Ano nangyari sa negative 10? Siyempre, ang na-expect natin kuning sagot ay positive. Diba? So, it should be it refers to the number that will be added. So, we will not use negative 10, but rather only 2 centimeters. And so, to check the answer, ano ni magiging new dimensions niya? Ang magiging new dimensions nila, ito yung old volume. Diba? 120 cubic centimeters. O, heto yung new volume. So, yung x natin ay 2. So, magiging 2 plus 3 is 5. And then, 2 plus 5 is 7. O, pag multiply natin ito, you will get 280. Tama ba na ang magiging larger ng 160 cubic centimeters? O, tama siya dahil pag minus natin yung new volume sa old volume, that will be 280 minus 120 is equal to 160 cubic centimeters. So, ngayon, ano ang pinakasagot? What is the new dimension of the rectangular metal box? It's gonna be 5 by 7 by 8. Before, it's 3 by 5 by 8. Now, it's gonna be 5 by 7 by 8. We have proven that it becomes larger by 160 cubic centimeters. Okay, that's how to solve problems involving polynomial equation. Okay? So, for the summary of the roots and zeros of polynomial equation, remember, the real number r is a zero of f of x if and only if r or c. Dun sa ibang book, c ang ginagamit. So, pareho lang siya. R is a solution or root of f of x is equal to 0 once na ang value ng equation ay 0. Then, R is a solution. Another, if x minus r is a factor of the expression defined by f of x, and 0 is the remainder when the expression defined by f of x is divided by x minus r. So, that's it. I hope you learned something today.